Hello friends, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Let's start our new course, that is the Science and Technology. Before start, I want to introduce myself. I am Ravi Tidhania. I have passed my MSc in microbiology and I have the 4 years of experience to teach online as well as offline. Before start, let's take a look on the different parts of science and technology that we will deal in the near future. Firstly, we will deal with the biotechnology, then we will deal with the nanotechnology, and then we will deal with the space technology, then computer technology, and in the last we will deal with the defense technology. Let's start with the definition of biotechnology. Biotechnology can be defined as the application of technology using the living organism to obtain useful product. For example, we are using the insulin hormone that is used to control the blood sugar level. It is extracted from the liver of calf. With the help of biotechnology, we purify the insulin hormone from raw to ripen. We extracted it with the help of different tools of biotechnology, and then further we will purify it and then we will use it. Next we will define the cell. Cell is the basic unit of life, or we can say it is the structural and functional unit of life. All the organisms that may be the unicellular or multicellular are made up of cell. The multicellular organism have different type of cells and together they make the tissue, and tissue together form organ, and organ forms the organ system. In the single cellular organism, the single one cell can perform all these functions. The study of cell is known as cell biology, cellular biology, or cytology. Now we will define the center of cell, that is nucleus. The nucleus is membrane bound organelle. It contains a genetic material that may be DNA or RNA. We will see here the presence of boundary in the cell. These three cells contain a boundary that is called cell membrane, and in the center we can see a dark circle. This is the nucleus. The nucleus contains DNA or RNA. We will define now what is the function of DNA and what is the full form of DNA, and after that we will define the RNA. We will deal with the structure of DNA and RNA. This is the DNA. DNA itself contains its feature, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. Its name is defining its feature. Deoxy means the DNA have no oxygen molecule. Ribose, it indicates that it have a sugar molecule, that is ribose sugar, and its nature is acidic, and it is present in nucleus. Nucleic mean present in nucleus. It is a long chain polypeptide. The DNA structure is double helical, and this is given by the two scientists, that is the Singer and Nicholson. Singer and Nicholson. They define the double helical structure of DNA. We can see here it is the double helical structure of DNA. The two strands are coiled around each other and they are bounded by the nitrogenous base. Let's back on the last slide. We can identify easily the different type of nitrogenous base. We can see here the DNA have four type of nitrogenous base: adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. The adenine always combined with thymine and guanine always combined with cytosine. By the color we can see in the double helical strand the adenine always combined with thymine or thymine always combined with adenine, guanine always combined with cytosine. We can see here, let's see firstly adenine and thymine. It is the adenine and thymine, the same adenine thymine, adenine thymine, adenine thymine, or we can say the thymine and adenine. Now the guanine and cytosine. We can see here the guanine and cytosine are combined together. They always bind to each other. The adenine always bind to thymine and guanine always bind to cytosine. Let's move to next slide. We can see here the detailed structure of DNA. In the last slide, in the name of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, we have seen that it contains a sugar molecule, that is ribose sugar, and a nitrogenous base, that is adenine. On the opposite side, we see the adenine is combined with the thymine and another sugar molecule, and in the last the DNA contains phosphoric acid. So we can say that the DNA is made up of nucleotide. What I say, the DNA is made up of nucleotide. What is mean that the DNA have nitrogenous base plus sugar plus phosphoric acid. These all together the form nucleotide. When we deal with the RNA, we can see the RNA is made up of nucleoside. This is the RNA. A little difference between the RNA and DNA is that the ribose, it is the ribose nucleic acid. It is also a polymeric molecule, and we can see it is the single strand molecule. It have the same composition except the oxygen. The DNA don't have the oxygen, but in the RNA we have the oxygen molecule, and the sugar molecule are same in the DNA and RNA, that is the same pentose sugar. Here also the ribose, it means the sugar molecule present in the nucleus and nature is acidic. So we call this the ribonucleic acid. It is the single stranded structure. We can see here it is the single stranded structure. RNA have the special functions of protein synthesis. We can say broadly we can divide it in the three categories of RNA. that is rRNA, or we can say it the ribosomal RNA. Next is tRNA, or we can say it the transfer RNA, and the last one is mRNA or messenger RNA. Now, what is the function of all these RNA? The rRNA, ribosomal RNA, is essential for information to the synthesis of protein. When the ribosomal RNA gets charged, the mRNA or messenger RNA get bind on the ribosomal RNA, and now the functions comes to the tRNA. The tRNA brings the amino acids, which is all 22 types of amino acids, brings on the site of protein synthesis and form a long chain peptide that called protein. Let's see the difference between the RNA and DNA. DNA, RNA. DNA is double stranded, RNA is single stranded. The sugar molecule is deoxyribose, and in the RNA the sugar molecule is ribose. We can see the nitrogenous base in the DNA is adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, but in the case of RNA the nitrogenous base is changed, and there is the one change only. At the place of thymine, here the uracil is present. In the case of RNA, we find that the absence of thymine and the presence of uracil. The uracil is present at the place of thymine. And one more point, that the DNA is formed with the help of nucleotides, but in RNA we can say it is formed with the help of nucleosides. What is nucleosides? Nucleoside contain nitrogenous base plus sugar. This is called nucleoside. And nucleotide, I again repeat, nitrogenous base plus sugar plus phosphate. It is the nucleotide and it is the nucleoside. This is present in RNA, or this is form RNA and this form the DNA. Next difference, we can see the DNA is found only in nucleus, the RNA may found in nucleus or outside the cell. The DNA have capacity to repair itself, but RNA do not have capacity to repair itself. Let's see how the repair can introduce in the DNA and how do not introduce in the RNA. Here is the DNA. If suppose the strand is cut from here or damaged from here, the another strand is complete. This complementary strand join this strand again with the help of certain enzymes. But in RNA, the only single strand is present. If this strand is cut from here, it separates into the two parts, and it does not have any complementary strand, so it cannot repair itself. It have the capacity to multiply its number, but the RNA have to not multiply its number. Next, we can see the chromosome. What is chromosome? It is a thread-like structure present in the nucleus. We can see here the this is the sequence of DNA, and we can see easily all these are the nitrogenous base. Adenine combined with thymine, adenine combined with thymine, thymine combined with adenine, 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 thymine, cytosine, guanine, adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, cytosine, cytosine, guanine, guanine, cytosine, guanine, cytosine. You can easily see that the nitrogenous base are complementary to each other, means that they combined with the specific nitrogenous base. Now the DNA is helically arranged, or the both strands are coiled on each other, and then they coiled on a protein that is called histone protein. This ball like structure is the histone protein. On this the DNA is wrapped, and now all balls are condensed together and form chromatin. These chromatin are condensed in the two arm structure that we call as chromosome. The human DNA length about 2.2 meter are condensed in a microscopic structure that we called the chromosome. What is chromatid? We can see here, this is the chromatin, and condensed form of the chromatin we can call the chromatids. Let's see the definition of chromatid. The each of the two thread-like structure. What is the thread-like structure? We can see here, this is the thread-like structure. This is the thread-like structure. These are the two arms are the thread-like. I repeat the chromatid definition. Each of the two thread-like strands into which a chromosome divided longitudinally during the cell division, each contain a duplex helix of DNA. I define now that, or we try to understand the last definition from here, that when the two thread like structure, yani ki, what is the thread like structure? This is the chromosome, it contains the thread like structure. When they separate during the cell formation or cell division, the one arm goes on this side and one arm goes this side. The both arm contains the DNA material, that is the genetic material, and then it's duplicate itself and increase its number and maintain a ratio of 2n. 2n means the 46 chromosome. Next we will discuss what is chromosome and what is the different kind of chromosome present in the human body. The chromosome. How many pair of chromosomes are present in a human body? That is the 23 pair of chromosome present in the human body, or the total number of 46 chromosome present in the human body. The 22 chromosomes are called autosomes and one pair, the last pair, is called the sex chromosome. Why we call the last pair as the sex chromosome? Because it contains or it controls the sex of an organism. In the male, the presence of two different type of chromosome, that is X and Y. Here the Y is determined the male characteristics. In the female, the X and X are present. These represent a female character or control a female character. When the zygote is formed, all these character X and Y are separated, and in the female X and X separated, or we can say the egg of a female contain only half number of chromosome, that is the 23 number of chromosome. I am repeating that, 20, not 23 pair, 23 numbers. It is the 2n means 46, n means 23 number of chromosome, and in the male sperm contain only 23 number of chromosome, that may be X or maybe Y, and in the female the egg contain only X or X. When X from here and X from male together form X and X, this is again to form 23 plus 23, 46 chromosome or 2n chromosome. Now X come from female and Y come from male, that also form the 46 number of chromosome. Clear? I think so it is clear. If there is any problem, please comment in the comment box. I will again try to deal with these problems and I will again explain to you. What is cloning? The cloning, in the layman language, we can say the cloning is the process of photocopy, or we can say the Xerox copy. When we use the Xerox copy, we can see the on the Xerox copy page all the words are same. When it is the done in the plants and animals, the genetic and morphological features are the same as parents. Mostly it is naturally present in the plants and in some animals also. We can explain on the basis of some example. You can see easily the cloning in the plant of banana. The banana plant grows, and from a root the another plant or another banana plant is grow, that is genetically similar to their parents and morphologically also similar to their parents. What is animal clone? We can see in the next slide what is animal clone, how it produce. Here here we can see the egg donor, and Here we can see somatic cell donor. What is the somatic cell? All body cell are called the somatic cell except the gamete forming cell. What is the gamete? In the female, gamete is egg, and in the male, the gamete is sperm. All the body cells are called somatic cells. From one sheep, we are taking the egg, and from one sheep, we are taking its body cell. Now, the nucleus is removed from the egg, and now in the next step, we introduce the nucleus of somatic cell into the egg cell. Now, it allows to develop when the division is start in the egg cells or a stage is come that is called blastocyst. Then we implant this mass of cells into the uterus of mother, and after some time we get the desired character of an organism or the wanted characters organism. I repeat this process again. Here we have the egg donor or a female. Here we have a somatic cell donor that may be a male or a female. We collect the egg from the female and now we remove the nucleus of this egg. We insert the nucleus of somatic cell into the egg cell. Now, what is the difference between the nucleus of somatic cell and nucleus of egg cell? Here, in the last slide, we discussed in the gametic cell only half number of any means n number of chromosomes are carried forward or going into the gametic cells, but in the somatic cells the number is 46 or we can say the 2n. When we introduce the nucleus into the egg cell, it get the division factors and start to divide and start to multiply its number. When it reaches at the stage of blastocyst, then we introduce this blastocyst in the uterus of sheep, and after some time we get the desired organism or desired character organism. Okay, I hope you got that. Now we will define plant cloning. In the plants we discuss the plant reproduce asexually by means of cutting. In the rose we can see uh, a branch is cut and put into the soil. After some time it grows and the flower is saved as the parent plant. It is also called tissue culture. It is also called tissue culture. In the lab techniques, we extract a cell from the growing tissue of a plant and grow into the laboratory condition. After it evolves and become a plantlet, we implant it into the field and its character is similar to its parent. What is means by genetic and morphologically similar? Genetically means the genetic makeup or the DNA of the child is same as their parents. In this we can say the DNA of the both plants, or in the last slide we can say the DNA of this, sorry, the DNA of these is similar with this. Or we can say these are the photocopy of this organism. You can easily see how its mother look likes and how its genetic mother look like. It is more similar to the genetic mother, or we can say these are the photocopy of their somatic cell donor mother. It has happened same in plants, that is genetically similar with their parents, and morphologically means the physical appearance of a person or of an organism or of a plant is similar to their parents, or exactly similar, we can say exactly similar to their parents. Now, identical twins. What are the identical twins? They are the same genetic character or a like genetic character twins that may be a brother sister if they are developed from different egg, or if they are developed from the same egg, then they both are male or they both are female, that are called the identical twins. They are similar in appearance at some extent or very similar in appearance. What is conjoined twins? The twins that are physically joined at the time of birth. The two babies are born physically connected to each other. Conjoined twins develop when an earlier embryo partially separate two from two individuals. The most conjoined twins are stillborn or die shortly after birth. What is it saying? They are die after their birth in some time. Let's see the conjoined twins, different type of conjoined twins. You can see easily all the embryos or all the childs are physically joined to each other. They are called the conjoined twins. What is the reason behind that? Why they are joined? When they develop in the womb, the space is very small. When they develop together in the same chorion and in the same placenta, they develop in the same chorion and in the same placenta. So when they grow in the size, they need a larger space as compared to when they were in the form of cell mass. When they develop in the so closed space, the organ of these embryos get attached to one another and it develops together, so they joint with, with each other. Let's see the next. What is designer embryo? When the embryo is designed, or we can say the genetic changement is introduced in an embryo, that embryo is called designed embryo. The firstly des- desired designed embryo in the last November, approximately November, or I can't say that. Sorry, in the starting of 2019, the China performed an experiment on the designed embryo, and the Chinese twins Lulu and Nana were edited. These are both are females, and after that this technique is banned due to some ethical issues. We can see in the next slide how the designed embryo is made. Let's see. Let's see how the designed embryo is formed. Egg is collected from the mother and sperm is collected from the father, and they fused they fused to form the zygote. Now the zygote DNA get defected, or some defect is arise in that embryo. Now the scientist cut some fragment or defected fragment of that DNA and introduce on the place of this removed DNA a new segment of DNA, and then introduce into the womb of mother. That new fragment of the DNA taken from the another individual or a normal person. Now the embryo is called a designed embryo, and now the genetic disorder is removed from the embryo. It develops normally in the womb of his or her mother. Let's see the genetic issue with the or what is the issue with the designed embryo. How the designed embryo is introduced. The designed embryo introduced by a method that called the germline engineering. What is the germline engineering? When the embryo is edited, or we can say we edit it in the gametes. We edit the genetic material of gametes. Then this technique or this engineering called the germline engineering. You can read this easily and you can understand what I am writing here. What is the gene editing? In the last slide, we have seen that we cut and remove the defective piece of the DNA and introduce a new piece of DNA at the place of defected DNA. This work is done with the help of CRISPR-Cas9. It is the editing tool or cutting, we can say it a molecular scissor, which help in the cutting or which cut the DNA and remove it easily. So we can nowadays the scientists use the CRISPR-Cas9 at a molecular scissor. It help in the gene editing. Let's see the next. What are the pros and cons of designed embryo? You can see easily or read easily, or we can go through once these pros and cons. Less risk to genetic disease. You can easily understand if we remove before the embryonic development or in the egg stage, we remove the defective part of the DNA and introduce a new part of DNA in the DNA of developing embryo, then how come the genetic disorder? The medical condition will not be passed down. Next is the child will be stronger and better looking. We can introduce character according to our desire. How our child look like, how they grow, how his body look like, and all these characters increase lifespan because it have the minimum chance of genetic disorder. The child can have genes that the parent do not carry. Obviously, how we introduce a new gene, you remember that we introduce some fragment of DNA from the other parent. Let's see in the last slide. We cut and take out this DNA from it is the defective part of the DNA, and we introduce a donor gene into this DNA, and now introduce it in the warmed mother. Let's go back. The parent gene, we remove the parent gene and introduce the new gene, but we don't remove all the parent gene. We remove a part of the parent gene and introduce some part of foreign gene that are not present in their parents. The future generation can be prevented from the getting poor characteristics or gene. Obviously, the future generation, when this child reproduce and produce its progeny to next generation, then this gene that are introduced artificially into it will carry forward to its next generation. Apart from all these pros, there are some cons. Gap in the society, it is maybe unethical, more risk to genetics making mistakes, it may be introduced on the wrong place that produce adverse effect, less individuality in the world, or you can read easily or go through, you can understand easily all these cons. What is DNA sequencing? Let's move on the next slide. You can easily understand by the diagram what is the DNA sequencing. Here, what is the DNA sequencing? In the last slide, we have already discussed that it is the DNA. In all human beings, it is not identical. It is identical only in the monozygotic twins. What is monozygotic twins? That are formed from the same zygote or same egg cell. Now, what is the DNA sequencing? To analyze or to sequence all the presence of nitrogenous base on a DNA. To sequence all the nitrogenous base present on the DNA, this is called the DNA sequencing in the layman term. Let's see the official definition of the DNA sequencing. The DNA sequencing is the process of determining the nucleic acid sequence. You got now? The order of nucleotide in the DNA, it includes any method or technique that is used to determine the order of four bases. We see just now that the order of four bases or nitrogenous bases, where the adenine is present, where guanine is present, where cytosine is present, and where thymine is present. The determining the presence of these four nitrogenous base on the fragment of DNA, that is called the DNA sequencing. Let's move on the next slide. What is HGP, Human Genome Project? What is the Human Genome Project? It is the international project in which we are analyzing the DNA sequence of humans. Got it? What we do in this project, we are analyzing the human genome sequence on the both aspects with the physical and functional standpoint. What are the functions of genes, chromosomes, and etc. Now we can see in the next slide what is the genome project, how it start. It is the international project and completed in 2003. Completed in 2003. It is sponsored by United Kingdom, Japan, France, Germany, China. Why we need this human genome project? Why we invest a huge lump sum money in this project? Now we know where and what is the function of this gene. If the abnormality is arise in this gene, what will happen, what will be the effect of that abnormality in the human body, and what is the disease caused by which genes or which abnormality arise due to some deficiency or some excess production of gene product. So now we can easily identify or easily determine the sequence or the disease which is caused by the DNA, or we can say we easily identify the genetic disease with the help of HGP. What is recombinant DNA technology? The recombinant DNA molecule or the DNA molecule formed by the laboratory methods of genetic recombination to bringing together genetic material from the multiple source, creating sequence and would not be otherwise found in the genome. Means that we have already seen this recombinant method in the designed embryo. Except that we see in the next slide how the RDT done. It is a bacterial cell. Here it is the bacterial cell, and this bacterial cell suppose produce some essential product that we want to introduce into human cell, or we can say some human cell feature we want to introduce into the bacteria. Now we cut a fragment of DNA of human cell and we cut the bacterial DNA. Now we introduce the human cell DNA into the bacterial DNA and bind together the both of DNA, and now introduce this DNA into the same bacterial cell. Now this bacterial cell multiply its DNA and introduce that effect we want to produce or we want to get from the bacterial cell. Let's see the one another example of recombinant DNA technology is the Bt cotton. What is the Bt cotton? It is the cotton plant which is genetically modified. In the genetically modified plant, we introduce some protein producing gene from the Bacillus bacteria. From the Bacillus bacteria, let's see that example here. From the Bacillus bacteria, we introduce a gene into plant that produce cryprotein. This cryprotein is harmful for the larva of caterpillar or another bollworm. This cryprotein is sees the respiratory system of all the larvae that feed on the Bt cotton. Why and how the crygene is introduced in the that plant or in the cotton plant? By the same method. Now the protein that are producing in the bacteria, that protein is now produced by the plant with the help of that gene which are present in the bacteria. You got it? If you not got it, we cover this in the next lecture when we will cover what are the transgenic animal and transgenic plant. We see some varieties of transgenic plant that are present in our society and some different kind of animal that are also present nearby us. What is the Cas9? It is the molecular seizure. Before some slide we have studied this Cas9. It is a molecular seizure or DNA cutting enzyme. With the help of this enzyme, we cut the DNA and introduce the new DNA. What is stem cell? The stem cell have a unique feature that it can develop in the any type of cell of an organism. I mean that it can produce any type of cell. In the next you can see it is the stem cell. This is the stem cell. It produces different kind of cell, that may be the nerve cell, it is the simple skin cell, this is the RBC, this is the mother cell, and this is the plant cell. It can produce any type of cell or it can divide into the same type of cell, that's called the stem cell. The more stem cell we can develop these type of cells more and more. In the next slide we will discuss the different type of stem cell: embryonic stem cell, adult stem cell, and induced pluripotent stem cell. What is the pluripotent stem cell? What do you mean by the pluripotent? What do you mean by the monopotent, dipotent or pluripotent? Monopotent means the cell which produce the same type of cell. In the dipotent, the cell produce two different type of cells, means you can say here we have the B cell, that is the antibody producing cells. This cell can produce two type of cell, one antibody producing cell and the another is memory cells. These memory cells store for further memory and these antibody cells to kill the organism or foreign particle that enters in our body. Pluripotent cell can produce different type of cells, that may be 2 type, 3 type, 4 type, or we can say more than 2 type of cells that produce, we call that the pluripotent cell. Let's see the embryonic stem cell. What are the embryonic stem cell? The embryonic stem cells supply the new cells for an embryo as it grows and develops into a baby. These stem cells are said to be the pluripotent, which means they can change into the any cell of the body. Let's see an example. We have seen that we are developed from the egg and sperm. Both are the cells. When they together fuse, only egg cell remain. This is the one cell, and from this one cell the new organism get arise. You can easily connect now. From this cell, this single cell, a whole organism is arise or with the different type of cells. That organism contain RBC, nerve cell, liver cell, muscle cells, etc., etc. So we can call this cell as a pluripotent cell because it developed a different type of cell. We can extract the embryonic stem cell from the umbilical cord, or we can extract human body stem cell from the umbilical cord. Next we will see adult stem cell. What are the adult stem cell? We can see in the bone marrow. Have you seen a movie Chris 3? In the Chris 3, the call needs the stem cell of Hrithik Roshan. He want to repair his disability, so he extract his father's bone marrow and implants in himself. By the implantation of bone marrow, that bone marrow produce the different type of stem cell, and these stem cells can repair his body to produce different type of normal cells. We can say the blood cell or the pluripotent cell. How? The blood cells are the pluripotent cell, or we can say the blood cells are the bipotent cell. How? The bipotent cell? The blood cells are of two types. One is RBC and another one is WBC. The both WBC and RBC are formed by the stem cell or hematopoietic cells. In the skin cell, epidermal cell, the epidermal cells form the different type of organs within our body or our skin of the body. So we can say this is a pluripotent cell. Induced pluripotent cell. What is the induced pluripotent cell? Induced pluripotent cells mean we take a cell and convert into the pluripotent or stem cell it by inducing some factor in it. Or we can say that a normal cell converted into the pluripotent cell with the help of different methods in the laboratory. Let's see the definition. Introduce means that they are made in the lab by taking the normal adult cell like skin and blood cells and reprogramming them to become a stem cell. What I say, that is similar to this definition. Now we are ending this session, and in the next session we will continue ahead to this. If you have some problem in the understanding or in my language, you can message me or contact me on my email ID, that is tidhania@gmail.com. You can contact me or you can message me. I will reply surely to you. And how this session you feel some difference or not, you can comment and contact. Stay safe, stay home.